The most useful thing that my father ever taught me was how to use deception as a tool. Now, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to talk about how to use deception as a tool, or whether or not there are moral failings involved with them and how to avoid those moral failings if you're going to do so. There just isn't enough time. I don't have the time to do that. What I can do, and what I want to do, is explain to you how you can avoid being deceived. Because that's really simple. And it comes down to 4 words. Are you the mark? Deception isn't just telling a lie. Like, you can tell anyone a lie, and that doesn't necessarily mean you've deceived them. For example, if I pick up my cat, and I say to my adorable cat, Switch, hey Switchy, the moon is made out of cheese. Have I deceived my cat? Or if you walked out to a random person and said to them that the president was Lois Lane, would that be deception? I don't think so. I don't think something that is very obviously deceitful, very obviously untrue is necessarily deceptive, because deception is something that a person can't necessarily tell is a deception. And the thing is, in order to know who can and can't tell something is deception, you have to know who your target is. You have to target certain people for deception. Let me give you an example. Really easy to sample. The jingling is my pendant for people who've been asking. Trump and the corona bullshit. Him leaving the White House and showing off that he's working even while he's in the hospital, right? That deception was not aimed at people like me or people who are critical of the Trump administration. That deception was aimed at people who support Trump. And we know this because Trump maintains his favor by projecting strength. There's a thing that I was reading about how Trump planned to walk out of the hospital and then rip open his shirt, revealing a Superman shirt underneath it. That probably didn't go down because Trump is not physically capable of ripping his shirt open, because he's a very weak and a very weak-willed man. But, and you know that that's the case, because the people, the marks, were deceived by that. The people who support Trump either thought that he was faking the coronavirus in order to get a one-up on the Democrats to skip the debate or some other bullshit, or that he had genuinely beaten it overnight. Because either they think it isn't real in the first place, or they think that it's not as serious as it is. Let me give you another example that's a little bit more complex. Here in Illinois, you have all these ads going on about this new tax law that's being proposed and is on the ballot. On one side, you have the perspective that they're going to raise taxes on people who are wealthy and large businesses. On the other hand, you have people who are saying that Springfield and the government as a whole can't be trusted to manage taxes. And you know that because they haven't been able to manage taxes in the past 4 years or so, or 8 years or so. Since 2012, let's say. And the people who are saying that you can't trust the new bill, you don't want the new bill passed because you can't trust the government, their mark is not me. And I know that because I am not deceived by them. The thing is, this new tax bill isn't so much a bill as it is a rewriting of the Constitution. The Illinois Constitution. Back when the Illinois Constitution was written, it was written so that Illinois had a flat tax. Everyone paid more or less the same tax. And that has stifled growth in Illinois financially. Both for businesses and for individual people. Even people who helped write the Constitution, like the famously onerous Michael Madigan, have been proposing that we need to fix that part of the Constitution for the better part of a decade. Also, the idea that people in Springfield, that the government can't be trusted with taxes because they can't balance their taxes. We spent 4 years with a governor who was unwilling to pass a budget. That's why we haven't been able to manage our taxes. That's why the government hasn't been able to manage taxes for the last while now. Because there is an administration that was openly and deliberately malfeasant. Malfeasant. One of the two. So, I'm not the mark for that. I'm on the side of passing the bill. Because, again, stifling innovation and etc., etc. But the thing is, those commercials are deceptive too. And I know I am the mark for those because I was deceived by them until I stopped and thought about it. Specifically until I thought about the other one that wasn't being deceptive, that I wasn't the mark for. And see, the thing is, the new bill isn't a tax proposal. They aren't proposing a new budget. There's no way to ensure that businesses and corporations and wealthy people are going to have to pay more. It's just a removal of the flat tax. I haven't heard of any proposals regarding taxes. I haven't heard of what they're going to do. And I'm someone who's very deeply involved in politics. I would have heard of that. So yeah, what I'm saying is that you need to be critical of things that sound good. The best kind of lies are the lies that give people something that they want, that make people think that they're going to receive something that they want to have. And, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I want the wealthy to pay more money on taxes. Because the wealthy people are fucking hoarding all of their fucking money, and that's straightforward wealth distribution, which would be good for the country. But that doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen. And it especially doesn't mean that it's going to happen to the degree that it needs to, or would be beneficial to happen. And, yeah. I don't know. I hope this was helpful. Maybe I'll do a longer video about deception, or several longer videos about deception, when my fucking computer is running again. It still isn't. I should have a Ko-Fi link in the description of this video if you're willing to send money to me to take care of the computer. It needs a new CPU that's like $250. I don't have anywhere near that much money. Anything that you give would be appreciated, but, you don't need to. I'm still gonna make videos as much as I can, regardless of whether or not I have a computer, apparently. That's the next video I'm gonna make. I think I want to make a video about how sex work is valid. So, I don't know. Look out for that. And, until we get there, take care of yourselves, alright?